नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, I'm क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू टाइम्स ड्राइव पॉडकास्ट। आज का पॉडकास्ट थोड़ा अलग, थोड़ा सा सिमिलर। अलग इस वजह से बिकॉज थोड़ा सा Q&A हम कर रहे हैं। आपसे हमने सवाल मांगे थे उस प्रोडक्ट को लेकर जिसके लिए इंतजार काफी चल रहा था। फाइनली अब उसकी प्राइसिंग आ गई है। सो वी वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आप लोग उसके बारे में क्या सोच रहे हैं। हमने तो अपनी तरफ से इन्फॉर्मेशन वाला वीडियो डाल ही दिया था, बट वी वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आप क्या जानना चाहते हैं। तो वी आर रिकॉर्डिंग दिस कन्वर्सेशन विद डायरेक्टर सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग इंडिया मिस्टर तरुण गर्ग, और उन्हीं से हम ये सवाल जवाब करेंगे जो आपने भेजा है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसे पॉइंट्स हैं जिसका जवाब आप ऑब्वियसली आप सभी जानना चाहते हैं। हम भी हमारे पास भी बहुत सारे सवाल थे, तो इन्हीं में से कुछ छांट कर वी आर पिकिंग। एंड जो हमारे सवाल थे या मेरे सवाल, हम लोग के जो कॉमन सवाल थे वो अलग कर रहा हूँ, बट अलग से कुछ एक सवाल जो हैं, जैसे राफीद अली वो पूछ रहे हैं, लुकिंग एट द प्राइस डिफरेंस आई गेस पेट्रोल सेल्स विल बी लेस देन 5%। और राफीद ये जरूर हम पूछेंगे कि पेट्रोल और डीजल दोनों वेरिएंट है, तो बुकिंग या सेल्स में क्या नंबर हिंडे को दिख रहा है कि पेट्रोल ज्यादा बिक रही है या डीजल कैसे ज्यादा बिक रही है। फाइंड दैट आउट। बम्बल बोरी सिंह, I don't think it'll dent the sales of Innova, but might jitter sales of top trim, Safari and Hector. Okay, Bumble. So I think I agree with you. यहाँ पर प्राइस जो है वो थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. We'll try and find that out. हम लोग इसके बारे में सवाल जरूर करेंगे कि जो प्राइसिंग है वो आमतौर पर जो अंदाजा चल रहा था आप लोगों के जो कमेंट्स में भी मुझे देखने को मिल रहा है, या जो हमारे टाइमलाइन पर अलग अलग सोशल मीडिया पे देखने को मिल रहा है. So I think everyone is कि हाँ प्राइस जितना सोचा था उससे ऊपर है. क्यों है? So we'll find that out. We'll talk about that. Also, how much time will you take to deliver the vehicle? ये है ताबड़तोड़ का सवाल है. ताबड़तोड़ का सवाल है. So definitely एक बहुत बड़ा इशू आज की तारीख में गाड़ियों के लिए वेटिंग लिस्ट काफी लंबा है. So we'll talk about that. भूपेंद्र पाटिल, बुकिंग के लिए कौन सा वेरिएंट बेस्ट है, प्लैटिनम या सिग्नेचर? तो भूपेंद्र, मैं टेस्ट ड्राइव करने वाला हूँ, मैं आपको बताऊंगा एक बार सभी वेरिएंट्स को. आई होप देख लें and then we'll take a decision, or maybe I'll give you my point of view. Which variant to consider as you've seen the car? शिवेंद्र का भी सवाल वही था, तो just wait for 2-3 days. मैं इसके बारे में आपको बताऊंगा. Amit is saying in base model Hyundai is given panoramic sunroof, dual के साथ 10-inch touchscreen and other features which get a SXO है. तो ये एक अच्छी स्ट्रैटेजी जरूर है Hyundai की तरफ से when they have loaded the base variant. तो अब वो देखते हैं कि क्या स्ट्रैटेजी है कंपनी की उसके इर्द गिर्द. ओके, सो आप सभी के क्वेश्चंस हमने देख लिए हैं. अब ये हम सवाल करते हैं, और अब हम इनवाइट करते हैं मिस्टर तरुण गर्ग, जो डायरेक्टर हैं सेल्स मार्केटिंग Hyundai इंडिया, एंड उनसे हम जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कुछ सवाल आपके, कुछ सवाल मेरे. लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस कन्वर्सेशन. Thank you so much for taking out time for us, Mr. Garg. First question, अब तो prices हमें पता चल गए हैं. We had asked our friends and viewers to send some questions. उन्होंने बहुत सारे सवाल भेजे. We'll take those as well. लेकिन पहला सवाल तो मेरे ही दिमाग में था कि what is the delivery dateline? When are you starting to deliver these cars? उसके बारे में क्या अभी जानकारी?
Kranti, thank you for having me here. I'm happy to report that deliveries are on, as we speak. So the dealers are really launching the product now as we speak, and if the customers are ready, the vehicles are ready at the dealerships, and they can take a delivery. That said, we have also given a waiting period because there are so many variants. Some customer may want a particular variant, so we have given a waiting period which could range between 4 to 8 weeks. At the same time, all the dealers in the country, the vehicles have reached. So I think that is a good thing, and we have prepared well for this big launch.
Yes, that's what I remember last time when we had this discussion next to Jaipur. You mentioned that you had made that kind of plan, या फिर आपके प्रोडक्शन को आपने उस तरीके से प्लान किया जिससे कि ज़्यादा लंबा वेटिंग पीरियड ना हो. बट अभी भी वो शायद स्ट्रगल. बट एनीवे, आई विल कम टू दैट क्वेश्चन बिकॉज वो और भी लोगों ने पूछा. एक और चीज़ जो मैं जानना चाहता था, that we saw you started the booking some time back. Any numbers कि किस तरह की बुकिंग देखने को मिली है Alcazar को?
Yes, Kranti, बहुत ही अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिला है हमें. We started about 10 days back, and we have received about close to 4,000 bookings, for the Alcazar at the rate of about 400 per day. But more importantly, I like to explain here the trim strategy, a very different trim strategy that we followed this time. Normally you would know that, most OEMs have something called a no-frill base trim, which is like an entry price trim. But this segment of customers, based on our market research, we found that he is not willing to compromise. I mean, none of the Alcazar customer, wants to compromise on some features. And so what we have done is these three trims, all these three trims have a voice-enabled sunroof. They have a LED headlamp, safety features like vehicle stability management, ESC, hill assist control are hygiene. Then of course there is a except for the 10.25-inch infotainment system is also across the trims. So basically we feel that this is probably really going to work. And out of these 4,000 things, there's a 33 kind of a mix, for the prestige, platinum and signature trim, which clearly shows, that this strategy has worked. Also, I'd like to inform that the two diesel and petrol trims, we have a diesel trim and a petrol trim. So diesel has received 55% bookings and petrol has received 45% bookings. Similarly, manual has received 50% bookings, automatic has received 50% bookings. Similarly, 6-seater has received 60% bookings, 7-seater has received 40% bookings. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a very good balance which has been achieved this time, which means that customers are really seeing a value in every trim that we have offered to the customer. So of course, these are early days and the delivery is starting from today. So we'll see how it goes. But as of now, it appears that this strategy has worked well for us.
So you have answered so many questions which I had in my head already. You talked about petrol and diesel variant. You talked about automatic and manual. So, but before I go to those questions, I wanted to understand the trim strategy you were talking about. A few years back, if you remember, one American manufacturer, they tried doing this. They got just loaded version of a sedan. It didn't work. What gave you this confidence that now you can do this? Because initial reactions on my social or any platform, I'm getting that this is a little bit higher than what people expected, the price range.
Because this is a very relevant question, and I'd like to share some data. What has happened over the past couple of years is that the sale of higher trims across our models is increasing. So whether it is the i20 or the Creta, so customers are really going for the higher trims. The second is that for all models, customers are now wanting a sunroof. So this is a trend which is really emerging because this new age Indian customer is really evolving. He's wanting to really travel in style and space. He's looking for versatility. He wants to be connected. Like Alcazar, connectivity is basically hygiene, because if you want to travel with your family and friends and maybe long distances, you want to stay connected. So Blue Link is like a hygiene across all things. So probably, this segment of customers are really looking for, they don't compromise on this. I cannot really comment on this OEM you're talking about, but we believe that for a segment like Alcazar, which we are trying to create, I think customer has some expectation, and it is our job to make sure that we meet the expectation of every Alcazar customer. Similarly, we have tried to really make sure that all the occupants of the car are comfortable. And here I like to give you small examples, like the middle row, which are the captain seats. They have a wireless charger option, or there's a tray where you can really work on an iPad. Similarly, the third row, it has an exclusive AC. The tip and tumble means you can really have a very easy ingress. So what I'm trying to say is that every customer of Alcazar will get that kind of an experience, whether you're a driver, whether it is chauffeur driven, or whether you're driving with your family. I think that is extremely important, that you get a minimum basic great customer experience so that you can enjoy the product and enjoy the grand life which Alcazar provides.
Right. And you also mentioned that you got better bookings for diesel. So could you share some more details on that?
Yes, actually, this is interesting, and this we have seen even in Creta. Because the diesel contributed close to 58 to 60%, and in Alcazar also the diesel is contributing 55%. So customers, of this segment really look for a very good fuel efficiency, and as you know, the fuel prices have been going up. And Alcazar provides a diesel provides a fuel efficiency which is more than 20 kilometers a liter, which I think is a big factor. Second, of course, is the torque, which the high initial torque which it gives. So we're very happy for that. Of course, there is a new 2-liter petrol engine which is also getting a lot of customer interest, and 45% of the bookings are for the petrol as well. But my point is that the balance of diesel and petrol very clearly shows that India being a big market, and there are customers who are really looking for petrol, there are customers who are looking for diesel, and having both trims really give you an option, to really increase volumes of the model overall.
And last time you also mentioned that this is something which you want it to increase the market rather than competing with anyone else. So any number, any guesses, any target you have which you can share? I know most of the time you don't answer, but we would like to invest this for our next story.
Yes, yes. So look, it's more so for Alcazar. It is basically a very new segment. There's 3-row, 6-seater, 7-seater. Now there are two strategies which you can follow. One is, okay, this is the market and this is the market share I'm going to target, and I'll arrive at a volume. But then I think it only restricts your mind because the segment is just evolving. Otherwise, you say, okay, this is what my customer wants. Let me exceed the customer expectations. Let me really give a product with a lot of choices to the customer and then see how things evolve. And I believe that is probably the strategy which Hyundai has always gone for, and which is really going to help us really get some much better volumes, going ahead. So this is what I would say, that this is a segment which is evolving, and we believe that this is the right time with the SUV market really exploding and a clear gap existing between the Creta and the Tucson in terms of a pricing. This is probably the right time for us to get into this segment and meet the expectations, not only of some new customers which will come in, but also the Creta upgraders, 600,000 Creta that we have sold. Many of them would also want to really go into that.
किस तरह की तैयारी है आने वाले टाइम में, because most of the manufacturers are struggling with delivery, especially chip shortage and all the other reasons. So long term में क्या सीखना होगा?
तो ये देखिए, ये एक इशू है जो चिप शॉर्टेज का है, ये ग्लोबल इशू है, तो ये किसी एक OEM से रिलेटेड नहीं है. एंड आई थिंक हम सब लोग पूरा प्रयास कर रहे हैं. वी आर रियली ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट and our procurement is really working 24/7 to really combat this issue. And I know, and I if you see the volumes, चाहे वो क्रेटा के वॉल्यूम हो या वेन्यू के वॉल्यूम हो, वो बहुत अच्छी ग्रोथ कर रहे हैं. तो इसका मतलब हम प्रोडक्शन कर पा रहे हैं. Yes, fortunately or unfortunately, how you want to see, the demand is also very strong and people's preference for SUV continues to go up. But we'll really try to do our best. अभी हमने 4 से 8 हफ्ते वेटिंग बोला है और हमारे प्रोडक्शन ने हमें एश्योर किया है कि they will continue to really increase the production as the demand goes up. So we hope that we will be able to really keep the waiting period in manageable levels.
Since हम लोग second wave के बाद पहली बार मिल रहे हैं, so I just wanted to understand for industry, क्या लग रहा है आपको, जो recovery है first wave के बाद similar होगी या time लगेगा? How do you read this?
क्रांति, अगर आप देखें, नंबर्स देखें तो मई में जैसे पूरा ही लगभग लॉकडाउन था, इंडस्ट्री के नॉर्मल वॉल्यूम से ऑलमोस्ट इट वाज अबाउट 25-30%. बट जून वी बिलीव दैट वी विल बी टचिंग समवेयर अराउंड 75% ऑफ द नॉर्मल लेवल. We started on the 7th of June the unlocking process, and even today around 80-85% of the markets are open. So उसके बाद if you see the 75% of normal is quite a good recovery. So going forward, we are optimistic. Like I mentioned, there are some positive factors: vaccination, the GDP expectations, the inverted V-shape which the COVID has followed, which means that things are really becoming much more normal than what we thought. These are the positive factors, and the most important, of course, the preference for personal mobility. At the same time, there are some negative factors as well, because of course the COVID has really impacted a lot. So people, in terms of economics, there's a stress. So there's a fear of COVID. Rural markets, maybe it will take a little bit more time this time. So I would say that we are moving ahead in a cautiously optimistic way, and we will take it month on month, and hopefully things should only improve from here.
Thank you so much, sir, and good luck with your new product. I hope आपके expectation पर ये खरी उतरे, और thanks for taking out time for us and our viewers.
Thank you, Kranti. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.
तो कैसी लगी बातचीत? आई होप आप में से कुछ के सवाल के जवाब आपको मिल गए हैं, और भी सवाल आप भेजते रहिए. दिस इज ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस. और सवाल आएंगे, हम कुछ और वीडियो बनाएंगे, कुछ और इंटरेक्शंस करेंगे. फिलहाल टाइम ड्राइव के यूट्यूब चैनल को जरूर फॉलो कीजिए, और हर संडे जरूर वेट कीजिए हमारे इस पॉडकास्ट का. कभी कभी इंटरेक्शन करते हैं, कभी कभी इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियो एक्सप्लेनर्स करते हैं, और कभी कभी यूं ही कुछ डिस्कशन की बात होती है, उसके ऊपर बात करने के लिए मैं पहुंच जाता हूँ. फिलहाल timesdrive.in हमारा वेबसाइट है, वहाँ पर सभी जो आपको इंफॉर्मेशन है, रिव्यूज, व्यूज, न्यूज, ऑटो से जुड़े हुए सब कुछ आपको वहाँ मिल जाएगा. फिलहाल बाय तथा बाय.